Hi Pisces, my name's Chandler. Thank you for tuning in. This is my first Pisces video and I do offer personal readings. If you like or if it resonates with you, please make sure to like and subscribe. I will put the link to my website in the description box so you have easy access if you'd like to request a reading. So right off the bat, I'm sensing this big transformation for you, Pisces. This is a 10 of fire. So what this really represents is your craft. Some of you may be trying to get ahead or get some notice in your careers. If you are an artist, you're refining your artistries. If you are very spiritual, you're getting this igniting through your kundalini. And if you are very esoteric, you may be getting divine connections leading you down your path this month. And I know that most Pisces don't actually have to be spiritual. They just are. They're so connected and so otherworldly at times. Let's see what other cards come up for you, Pisces. I really feel like this 10, especially in the beginning, is some kind of endings and closures that you're working on. Okay, so the 8 of air comes up because something with having to do with karma is coming up. Could be legal, but relating to cause and effect. Certain acts that you've done in the past might be coming up for review or to a conclusion this month, and it may not be in your favor. The reason that I believe it's in reverse is maybe because this is not a very favorable situation, and not that a decision or a result will not be in your favor. The fact that there's 8 and a lot of chakra aligning going on, I sense that you are really honing in and taking control of the energy that you do have this month, and you're working with it to the best of your ability. The counselor comes up in reverse, okay? So speaking of a person maybe making judgments, it could very well be a legal situation given this card. Some advisor, guidance counselor, therapist, someone who's really good at giving advice, really good at listening, and also deciphering information and how it relates to emotions. Basically right and wrong. So if you have been dealing with someone with either air or water in their chart, the female water energy that I see is probably a Cancer or Pisces. This could be speaking of you, getting disinformation maybe. Someone who is coming to you for support, and it's very taxing on you. Wisdom comes up upright. So this is a very spiritual reading. I feel as though this is talking about some kind of enlightenment that you guys are walking into. Maybe a vortex of energy is open. Maybe it's just your time to shine and be ignited with these energies. But it's going to make you feel so connected. Wisdom has, okay, first of all, it's another 10. And what it represents is long-lasting information that tends to last a very long time. What this resonates with is your heart, okay? Knowing that the wisdom of the heart is very necessary. You might be making amends with someone and needing to chalk it up to experience or to a phase in your life and moving on to the next. You know, these cards are also sliding right out, so I feel like you're just going to slide out of this cycle, whoever it was with. Choice and knowledge come up, so you have a lot of major arcana, a lot of important energies coming up in this reading. Choice being a very Piscean card, right? Always knowing that there's two ways or two opposites or two polarities of things, and needing to really make the decision that best suits you. I feel like you're doing this based on your knowledge, based on experience. Knowledge is knowledge, but knowledge also means experience, okay? The things that you have either experienced or learned, and them coming up as either indications that you need to make a choice, or that the choosing that you've done has worked out for you for the better in the long run. Let's see what we can get, okay, from these cards. I'm really interested to see what the heck you guys are going through, Pisces. I feel like a lot of you have been doing very well in business. You know, maybe getting a certain amount of money is coming to you that may turn some heads, right? It'd be lovely if it was a lottery or that kind of money, but I feel like this money is more earned and deserved than that. But again, if you have ties with others, and unfortunately if they were the kind to betray you, then that would be cause for concern. Four of Swords. So underneath the Ten of Fire, we get this Four of Swords linking this momentum that's behind you. In combination, creating this sense of awareness and skill level that is really refined. With the Four of Swords, you could expect some changes on the home front, being more mindful, setting aside time and space for your loved ones. But with the Ten of Fire, this speaks of this otherworldly transformation. Something that was otherwise dull and grim gets ignited and is now renewed. Maybe it's your perspective. Maybe you are artists. Maybe you are embarking on something beautiful and it's just unfolding in June. Regardless, this needs your contemplation. This needs some refining, because what I see in the Ten of Fire is, you know, a lot's going on. And with the Four of Swords, there's a need to maybe tone things down or take a step back and allow things to absorb, right? Instead of just running forward recklessly, let them sink in for a minute. Ten of Cups and the Emperor underneath the Eight of Air. The Emperor, again, can speak of judgments, certain legalities, legal issues coming to a close, finalizing, getting word back, hearing word, and with an ex-lover of yours, with an ex-partner of yours. I hope that this ends up in a fair way, because the relationship itself, whether you were involved with a Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini, I'm kind of getting this Libra vibe from the Ten of Cups, but more of a Gemini from the Emperor. This wasn't good for you. It was imbalanced. You know, it feels like they took from you, and they maybe had taken it without even asking you, or there was no communication about it. It was very unfair, I feel like. So the Ten of Cups speaks of imbalance and knowing that this part of your life is coming to a close, and you're almost happy to see it go. You know, energetically, it is taxing, and I feel like it's played a heavy role in the kind of efforts you've been able to set aside for your family or for your craft. If you're working on mastering something, becoming a master, becoming more mindful, this was totally in your way. It was totally clouding your vision. The Emperor is so controlling. You may be very well dealing with an Aries, someone with a lot of fire in their chart, Leo, Sagittarius as well, but you know, the Emperor is very controlling. He's very aggressive. He wants things his way. And what I'm seeing is there was a certain cause and effect in this process. Something happened, and therefore this legal process had to happen. Something happened, and therefore, you know, you had your tower moment, right? And things kept crashing down, and you may have had a hard time actually letting this go, but the wheel that started spinning at that moment was inevitable. I feel like you had to go through this. And this does feel like somewhat of a soul contract, right? Very karmic in nature. You guys may have been doing this for lifetimes. yeah, a lot of joy was just spilled over, with the 10 of the Cups. And a part of you might still be berating yourself and perpetuating the suffering, thinking that a judgment or something has to come to an end. There's got to be some resolution. What I see in the Counselor is you guys very well could be seeking out advice. You guys could be seeking out someone understanding, an ear, to talk to about your feelings. But for some reason, I'm not sure if this is being reciprocated very well. They might be a little bit of a tattletale, not take you very seriously. What's going on there with the Counselor? Any advice? The cards are kind of sticky, and again, this feels like it's been a long process. It feels like this has been drawn out. Oh my gosh, does it feel like it's been drawn out? Okay, so the Six of Wands, Page of Swords, and the Death card in reverse. So you guys may have gone to counseling. You guys may have sought couples therapy. You guys may have tried to save a marriage. There might have very well been a instantaneous moment where you had a decision to make, right? It changed everything. And for those of you who split up from your partner, it was a really hard decision to make. It was a super hard decision to make. You knew what was at stake. Maybe you guys have a family together. Maybe this was ultimately someone that you were very in love with, that you were very invested in, and they did you wrong. There could be very many ways that these cards read, but what I'm picking up is that underneath the Counselor, you have the Six of Wands, which is carried information, which supports home and family, optimism, enthusiasm, things of that nature, blessings, children, the little things, right? But it's a carrier of information as well. So the Six of Wands relating to this athlete that finishes the race, and he's being applauded and supported by all of his fans and followers, and it's kind of like we did it moment. And that might have been your aspiration, to try to save the marriage or relationship, but ultimately this Counselor didn't give you what you needed. They didn't clarify, or they didn't give you the right promises, maybe promised you something. Page of Swords speaks of a naivety, right, of short-sightedness, but bold curiosity of moving forward, like, can we do this? I don't know, and you may have actually tried, you may have attempted to rekindle some kind of relationship with either. What I'm getting is a air sign, right? Air sign sticks out at me for this partner. Yes, or they could be a fire sign as well, Fire signs, there tends to be this very explosive ending with fire signs, and that's kind of what I'm seeing. It was like, it was rolling very well, and then it came to an abrupt halt. But the Page of Swords, as you sought this information or advice from either a friend or a counselor, a therapist, some kind of advisor, as much as they tried, you had willingness, right? You had willingness. You really wanted to make this work. You were willing to work for it, but at the end of the day, the Death card prevails. This was over from the initial card that I'm seeing in the beginning of June. What this will play out like, right, or how this will go, is you will know this needs to come to an end, or that there's some kind of closure in sight, whether it's legal or whether it's present. Present day in your reality. I see you avoiding it. I see you not wanting it to close. I see this being kind of a tug on your heartstrings, to be honest. But the information is unavoidable. What you've learned, what you've seen, the information you've acquired, the skill set that you have, you realize that it's put yourself in a position with another that is just not cohesive for the long term. We're talking about the long term. Okay, so really, you need to meditate. You need to really think. You need to go inward, because the advice that you seek is only temporary solution for a permanent problem. and that's with this person. And I don't mean to be so harsh or bold about it, but that's just kind of what I see in the cards. You do have wisdom and a choice and knowledge, and what I'm seeing that you've learned is something that I wouldn't put up with. It's something that I would not try to make work, because the problem may not have involved me at all. The problem may be about this Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, or, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. It's kind of even in that sense. So I can see maybe why you're hesitant to just cut it off or make it over and done with. But in your heart of hearts, and I think that's what this wisdom card speaks of, is this is a closure. This is a time of release. This is a time to go within. This is a time to think of long-term, long-lasting wisdom. And if this person is not allowing you to think long-term, right? They're keeping you in the present. They're keeping you in survival mode. They're keeping you scared or worried or discontent with their games and actions. Let's see if we can get wisdom clarified for you. Because this seems like it might be a difficult decision, and you could very well be going into July with the same kind of issue, making it work, but, really trying your hardest and needing to go within and needing to seek advice and all of those things. That's fine, to each his own, and this may be your path. But I see the sooner that you can come to that very strong, wise conclusion, you're gonna feel like really strong, like really good about yourself. It might take some time, right? The ripple effect is real, and what you experience through this explosion or through this ignition, right? I'm hearing ignition, transformation rather. It's going to take some time to see the full manifest of what good quality it brings, because I see actually this is going to be for your betterment if you can navigate these energies the right way. But wisdom, any advice for that? Because you know what, that one is pretty plain and simple to me. It's like you got to get in your heart space. You have got to get in your heart space. Okay. Two of Swords. So you have two options. I mean, that's plain and simple. You have two options, and you're not listening because you're trying to avoid it, and it's exhausting you. But I honestly feel like when you reach this wisdom point, you're gonna just surrender. It's this full surrender. It's like, that's exactly how the wisdom card feels too. It's full surrender of this momentum. Like, it feels as though you've just been holding on to the train as it's dragging you, and then finally you let it go, and you're left where you are, but at least you don't cause any more damage, Like, you might survive. That's always a good thing. Choice and knowledge. Choice and knowledge. I think you're going to be putting your best foot forward, however this works out, however this ends, however this comes to a closing. You are going to have the upper hand, because ultimately you have the choice. The ball's in your court. And there's too much that you've learned. There's too much that you've experienced to just go back to maybe how things were in the beginning. So, this is really interesting, Pisces. The moon, okay, the moon in reverse, meaning that a decision has been made. And instead of wavering and delaying, not making a decision, indecision is a decision, right? And you know this. And you made the right one. This one actually does speak to me. This one does speak that you have made the right decision, that you have used that inner strength and wisdom within you to steer your life in the right direction. If there is a choice that poses a difficult decision for you this month, know that if you go with your heart of hearts, you will find the way. 5 of Cups coming up in reverse, meaning that you are on the move. You need to turn this energy around when you get in despair, because what it is a significant but partial loss. Okay, we don't want to stew too long in that area. We don't want to feel this way for very long. Either way, the 5 of Cups comes up. It kind of speaks to a resolution needing to be made. Let's see if there's any more information that your spirit guides have to say. Wow, what a reading, Pisces. Honestly, this is great. I mean, you guys are the rulers of choice. You know when there's a crossroads at your life. I think you might even be able to sense it before June starts. Any information for Pisces? This is a very intuitive deck, and I just love it. I think that you would too. Opportunity. Yes, my dear, opportunity. There's a gateway that's open for you. It's an opportunity to either redeem yourself, justice, heart-opening wisdom and information, a choice that will set you free. And if you let the waters flow, look at the water flowing out of her eyes, and look at the water flowing out of the page. What else do we have here? There's so much symbolism in these cards, but what I think opportunity really indicates is that there's an opportunity to create the life that you truly see in your future. There is an opportunity to take a view into the future, peep into the future, beyond the curtain. You can tell, you can see what your life will be like if you take certain actions, and those certain actions may be very distinct. They may be very intricate or intrinsic, right? Something that is small, but makes a big difference. So as you move forward, recognize the opportunity. Don't deny yourself that room to grow and to learn and to be open to interpretation. I feel as though this is a very guttural feeling. This has maybe to do with your solar plexus, robbing yourself of the power of choice that is divinely yours. And instead, you can view this in a positive way. Like you have the opportunity to stand your ground, to be opportunistic, to be creative, to be strong-willed, to be powerful. And ultimately, I feel like that is how you will react to the situation, because the floodgates are open. There's no stopping it. It's the ocean. There's a new horizon in your life, and I hope that it brings you blessings. Live in the moment, let go of the past. There is no point worrying about the future. A wonderful opportunity exists for you today. Embrace it. Let's see if the angels have any truth bombs before we go. Those of you who made it to the end, I congratulate you. This has been a tough reading. It's not been easy, I know. Nobody wants to hear this stuff in a reading. But I think if you're still listening, it does resonate with you on a very important level. These are really important energies. Lots of cardinal work going on. Lots of important shifts happening. You know what? Let's just ask the angels what their best advice for you is this month, because I think you could use it. I think you could use a little advice. And you know what? Advice other than maybe the counselor that you're going to go see, right? The therapist, the easy ear. Because I have a feeling they'll may have you thinking something that is not quite the best for you. So, any truth bombs from the angels? I'll do it 3 more times. Law of attraction. What have I been saying? What you're creating is important right now, my dear. What you are creating is important. It's in your mind's eye. It's your vision right now. And I think you will be able to have a clear idea of what that is, depending on what kind of situation you're in, first of all, and how you react to it, second of all. You may have a vortex of energy open, right? Because opportunity and this law of attraction, it's saying something big is coming your way. And I feel like it will be in your favor, absolutely. But, of course, before we get to our goal, we have to go through the other stuff too. And that may be what you're dealing with this month, the other stuff. But in the end, or overall, you're so blessed. You are so abundant. You can expect lots of good things to come your way. Again, we kind of mentioned an initial investment or return reward coming to you in the beginning of the month. Maybe certain legalities having to do with that. But I think overall, you're going to be well deserving of this. And, in any case, it leaves you in a really good position. You have the ball in your court, and you can create just about anything, and that's a really good position to be in. Law of attraction. Each thought is an investment that pays immediate dividends, so invest wisely. You have the power to choose your thoughts and align them with love, peace, and harmony. At your request, we will gladly attune your energies to higher frequencies. And so it is. Have a great day. I will see you next time, Pisces. If you're interested in a personal reading, please click the link in the description box to my website. And yes, tune back in for July's reading. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Bye.